Stef Diggs weeps after major blow in relationship with Cardi B. The internet went into full meltdown mode the moment whispers began spreading that something had gone terribly wrong between Cardi B and Stef Diggs. What started as subtle clues, missed appearances, cryptic posts, and a sudden silence, quickly escalated into a storm of speculation that no one could ignore. According to close sources, the once electric energy between the two had shifted dramatically. Conversations that used to last for hours were suddenly cut short. Laughter gave way to tension. And then came the moment that reportedly shattered everything. Late one evening, after a long and emotionally charged discussion, Stef Diggs was said to have received news that hit him like a punch to the chest. A major blow, one that forced him to confront the reality that the relationship he believed in so deeply might be slipping through his fingers. Witnesses say Diggs broke down completely. This wasn't a quiet moment of sadness. This was raw. Unfiltered. A grown man reduced to tears, overwhelmed by the weight of love, expectations, and a future that suddenly felt uncertain. Friends nearby described him sitting in silence afterward, eyes red, voice shaking, replaying every moment in his mind, wondering where things went wrong. Cardi B, known for her fearless honesty and emotional intensity, was reportedly just as affected. Insiders say she didn't make the decision lightly. The major blow wasn't about drama or betrayal, it was about real issues, trust, timing, pressure, and two powerful lives pulling in different directions. At the heart of it all was a painful realization: love alone might not be enough. For Stef, the pain came from feeling powerless. He had fought for the relationship, adjusted his schedule, made sacrifices behind the scenes that fans never saw. And yet, despite all that, he found himself standing on shaky ground, watching the bond he cherished begin to crack. Social media only made things worse. Fans noticed the change immediately. No more supportive comments. No more subtle shoutouts. No shared moments. Just silence, and that silence screamed louder than words ever could. Something is wrong, fans said. This doesn't feel normal. And they were right. Sources close to Diggs say the tears weren't just about losing Cardi, they were about losing the vision of what they could have been. The future plans. The private promises. The belief that against all odds, they would make it work. Meanwhile, Cardi B was said to be emotionally torn. Strong on the outside, but deeply conflicted within. She reportedly struggled with guilt, knowing how deeply Diggs cared, yet feeling trapped by realities she couldn't ignore. Fame, family, personal growth, everything collided at once. This wasn't a messy breakup filled with insults and chaos. This was heartbreak in its quietest, most devastating form. As days passed, Diggs remained withdrawn. Those close to him say he hasn't been the same, less talkative, more reflective, carrying a heaviness that's impossible to hide. The tears may have dried, but the pain hasn't. And the biggest question remains unanswered. Is this the end, or just the darkest chapter before reconciliation? Fans are holding on to hope. Some believe time apart will heal the wounds. Others fear this major blow may have done irreversible damage. One thing is certain, this emotional moment has changed both of them forever. Because when love is real, it doesn't end quietly. It breaks hearts. It leaves scars. And sometimes, it leaves even the strongest man in tears. Stef Diggs weeps after major blow in relationship with Cardi B. The room went silent the moment the news broke. No flashing cameras, no roaring crowd, just a crushing stillness that felt louder than any stadium on game day. Stef Diggs, a man celebrated for unshakable confidence and fearless performances under pressure, sat alone as the weight of it all finally came crashing down. This time, it wasn't a defender closing in. It wasn't a fourth quarter clock ticking away. It was love. For months, fans had watched his relationship with Cardi B unfold like a modern fairy tale: passion, chemistry, laughter, and bold public moments that set the internet ablaze. From playful exchanges to supportive gestures, they looked unstoppable. Two powerful worlds colliding, sports royalty and hip-hop royalty. But behind the glamorous headlines, something fragile had been quietly unraveling. The moment everything changed. According to those close to the situation, the major blow didn't come as one explosive argument. It arrived slowly, through missed calls, heavy silences, and conversations that no longer flowed the way they once did. The kind of emotional distance that creeps in when two people are moving fast, but not always in the same direction. When the final conversation happened, it reportedly hit Diggs harder than anything he'd faced on the field. Sources say his voice cracked. His composure slipped. And then, he broke down. Not a single, cinematic tear. But deep, uncontrollable sobs. A different kind of pain. Teammates have seen Diggs push through injuries, losses, and criticism. They've seen him furious, focused, locked in. But this was different. This was raw. This was personal. This was a man realizing that no amount of fame, money, or accolades can protect your heart. He kept saying he gave everything, one insider shared. He wasn't crying about the public reaction. He was crying because he thought this was the one. That realization, that love doesn't always survive intensity, cut deep. Cardi B sighed, strength wrapped in silence. While Diggs struggled privately, Cardi B's response was just as telling. Known for her fearless honesty, she reportedly chose silence, not out of indifference, but out of exhaustion. Love, when stretched too thin by schedules, expectations, and pressure, can start to feel like a battlefield instead of a refuge. Those close to her say she was emotional too, just in a quieter way. No social media explosions. No cryptic rants. Just space. And sometimes, space hurts more than words. Fans react, this one hurts. The internet didn't take long to react. Support poured in from both sides, some heartbroken, others angry, many confused. Clips of Diggs looking distant during appearances began circulating. Old moments between the two were reposted with captions like, "We didn't know this was the end," and "Love is undefeated, until it isn't." For fans, it wasn't just about celebrity gossip. It was about watching two powerful people fail to beat the one opponent no one trains for, emotional timing. What happens next? No official statements. No confirmations. Just a heavy pause that says everything without saying anything at all. For Stefon Diggs, this moment may redefine him, not as an athlete, but as a man learning that vulnerability doesn't make you weak. It makes you human. And for Cardi B, it's another reminder that even the strongest women deserve peace over passion when the cost becomes too high. Whether this is a temporary storm or the final chapter remains unknown. But one thing is clear. This wasn't a breakup filled with drama. It was a heartbreak filled with tears. And somewhere, away from the noise, a superstar wiped his eyes, realizing that the toughest losses aren't always recorded on a scoreboard.
쳐다보고 있겠지. 묘한 짜릿함 그 속에 머물다 보면 어느새 제주 행비해 신비한 세계로 나를 이끌고 거짓말처럼 하늘을 날며 어느새 제주 바다가 내게로 와 있네. 도시가 보이곤 해. 그 도시에는 또 다른 내가 하늘에 떠가는 비행기를 올려다보고 있겠지. 난 하늘을 보고 또 다른 나는 아래를 쳐다보고 있겠지. 묘한 짜릿함 그 속에 머물다 보면 어느새 제주 행비행 신비한 세계로 나를 이끌고 거짓말처럼 하늘을 날며 어느새 제주 바다가 내게로 와 있네. 난 하늘을 보고 또 다른 나는 아래를 쳐다보고 있겠지. 묘한 짜릿함 그 속에 머물다 보면 어느새 제주 행비행 신비한 세계로 나를 이끌고 거짓말처럼 하늘을 날며 어느새 제주 바다가 내게로 와 있네. 난 구름 위를 날고 있어. 아래엔 간혹 도시가 보이곤 해. 그 도시에는 또 다른 내가 하늘에 떠가는 비행기를 올려다보고 있겠지. 난 하늘을 보고 또 다른 나는 아래를 쳐다보고 있겠지. 묘한 짜릿함 그 속에 머물다 보면 어느새 제주 행비행 신비한 세계로 나를 이끌고 거짓말처럼